So now we come to the cucumber. The largest vegetables family is Cucurbitaceae, and cucumber is the most common vegetable in Cucurbitaceae. So the second most widely cultivated cucurbit after watermelon, it is indigenous to India, and 12 o'clock. So I will finish within 30-40 minutes. So it is a salad crop. It is not a cooked one. Salad crop means we eat the raw cucumber. And there is one species, Cucumis hiatus. It was a cross between two Cucumis hystrix and the Cucumis sativus. Powdery mildew and downy mildew resistance in cucumber was done by a single recessive gene, and gynoecious lines are present in cucumber. So what is the advantage of this gynoecious lines? Gynoecious lines have all female flowers. There is no male flower, so that there is no need of emasculation or removal of male flower when we go for the hybridization. So it reduces the cost of labor and makes the hybrid seed production economical. Similar to male sterility, the non-functional pollen grains, so that there is no need of emasculation. Here also no need of, because of monoecious types, we have to remove the male flowers because male and female flowers are present on the same plant. So when you use a gynoecious line as a female parent, there is no need of removal of male flowers, and it facilitates the easy hybridization. So when this gynoecianism is coupled with the parthenocarpy, what is the advantage? There's no need of male parents also. So we can get the gynoecian, if it is vegetative parthenocarpy, the flower, the ovary turns into the fruit without pollination. So gynoecium plus parthenocarpy is an added advantage in cucumber. So there are some male sterile genes also there, but gynoecious lines are more popular in cucumber than the male sterility. So the progenitor was Cucumis hardwicki, and slicing cucumber is having white spine color. Slicing means for raw consumption as a salad. You slice the cucumber fruit and eat it. Slicing cucumber is having white spine color. White spine color means if you cut the fruit, you can see the internal portion is white. 20 to 25 centimeter length. There's the pickling cucumber is having less length, 10 to 12 centimeter. There's the slicing cucumber is having more length, 20 to 25 centimeter. Pickling cucumber is used for the making the pickles. So Pusa Sanyo is a hybrid. It was developed by using the gynoecious lines, a Japanese gynoecious line into the male parent green long napkins. So Pusa Sanyo is a hybrid developed by using a gynoecious line. This is the important cross. You remember the cross, Japanese gynoecious line into green long napkins. And Pusa Barca is a recently released variety. It is an extra early type. It is tolerant to high temperature. So you can see in Vishnu Swarup book, you know that vegetable crops in India, the book was written by Vishnu Swarup. In that book, you can see a table there. They have given the characters of some important varieties. So muskmelon, actually the genus Cucumis is having two types. Melotypes. Melotypes belong to melons, and the this type belongs to cucumber. So Melo group, it was also originated in Africa. Cucumis Melo variety cantaloupensis. It is called the common muskmelon or cantaloupe, whereas variety Enodorus is known as winter melon, and the variety Flexuosus or Utilissimus is known as snake melon or long melon. And the variety Konoman is known as oriental pickling melon, and the variety Dudai is known as mango melon, and variety Momodica snap melon. This is important. Variety Momodica snap melon. This is also commonly grown in India. The fruit cracks when it is ready for harvesting. When the fruit is ripened, the fruit cracks. So it's called snap melon or fruit in Hindi. Cucumis Melo variety Momodica is a snap melon. Just remember it. Among all the melons, now muskmelon has the netted skin. You can see the net-like structure on the skin of the fruit. That is a muskmelon, and it is having the aromatic flavor. And there are different types of sex forms. Long melon and snap melon are monoecious, and remaining all are andromonoecious. All these muskmelon, long melon, and snap melons are intercrossable, and they can produce fertile hybrids. Snap melon is resistant to downy mildew, watermelon mosaic virus, zucchini yellow mosaic virus, and cucumber green button mosaic virus and aphids. Variety Calosus is resistant to fruit fly. Fruit fly is an important insect pest of these melons. powdery mildew and fusarium wilt resistance bound by single dominant gene, and fruit fly resistance by single recessive gene. And there is another species, Cucumis angvira, commonly known as Getkins. This is pickling type. It is having fruit length is only 4 to 5 centimeters. Similar, it looks like cucumber, but the length is very less, 4 to 5 centimeters. Gherkins are exported from India to USA and other countries. So the Gherkins botanical name, Cucumis angvira, you remember, this is also important one. So all the desert types are andromonaceous and non-desert types are dioecious. Here, muskmelon also functional male sterility was observed, 5 recessive male sterile genes. Like chili, also in muskmelon also, first male sterile based hybrid was developed by the Punjab Agricultural University. So in chili and muskmelon, where the male sterility is commercially exploited. So the Punjab hybrid 1 or the MH1 is a cross between male sterile line into Harmadu, and MH10, here they use the gynoecious line into Punjab Sunehari. This WI998 is a gynoecious line from Wisconsin, USA. WI means Wisconsin. So the Punjab hybrid 1 or MH1 of the muskmelon, MH1 is muskmelon hybrid, was based on the exploitation of male sterility, and the MH10 was based on the exploitation of gynoecianism. So remember the process. And Pusa Rasraj, here the female parent is monoecious. Monoecious means the plant is having both male and female flowers. Here we have to remove the male flowers before the anthesis. Anthesis means opening of the flower. So M3 monoecious line and Durgapur Madhu was utilized for the development of the hybrid Pusa Rasraj. And Jobla 96-2 is tolerant to high soil pH. And Arka Sheetal is a long melon variety, and Pusa Shandar is a snap melon variety. So there are only one variety, so minor melons, they may ask. So the powdery mildew source was actually identified in India. The powdery mildew resistant source was identified in India, and it was transported to USA, and it was utilized there in development of powdery mildew resistant lines, PMR45 and PMR6. And there are some important varieties. Arka Rajahans. Arka Rajahans is resistant to powdery mildew. It is having white color flesh, and Pusa Sunehari, it is having the orange color flesh. And Durgapur Madhu and Punjab Sunehari are resistant to fusarium wilt. In case of melons, either in muskmelon and watermelon, cool nights and warm days are required for the accumulation of sugars. And this is the most common question. Cool nights and warm days are required for the accumulation of sugars in both muskmelon and watermelon. So watermelon was also originated in Africa. It was originated in Kalahari Desert. Watermelon is rich source of iron, and it is a widely cultivated cucurbit. So the bitterness in watermelon is due to the alkaloid cucurbitacin. Chemically, it is tetracyclic triterpenoid. So the red color in watermelon is due to lycopene and anthocyanins. And there are two types of cucurbitacins. And the Citrullus vulgaris, Citrullus colocynthis, and the Citrullus acridiosus are having the cucurbitacin E, whereas Citrullus nadianus is having the cucurbitacin B and E. So citron is an intermediate species between the wild and the cultivated. The wild types are bitter and the cultivated types are sweet. So the citron preserving melon, it is an intermediate between the bitter wild types and the cultivated sweet forms of the watermelon, and it is resistant to fusarium wilt. And round melon or tenda, this is also popular in North India, Citrullus fisculosus. In male sterility in the watermelon is glabrous male sterile, single recessive gene. I told you in the very beginning, when you cross a male fertile plant with the heterozygous male sterile plant with the heterozygous male fertile plant for its maintenance, the resulting population will be having both the male sterile and male fertile plants. So we have to identify the male sterile plants at the vegetative phase from the mixed population, so that we have a marker. We should have a marker. So this glabrous male sterile is the male sterility is given with the glabrous leaf character. So wherever the glabrous leaves are present in the population, that plant is a male sterile plant. We can easily identify. Likewise, resistant to anthracnose and other diseases governed by single dominant gene, and resistance to powdery mildew governed by a single recessive gene in watermelon. Citrullus colocynthis, the wild type or the progenitor, it is having the high seed oil content, whereas Lanatus, the cultivated type, is having the thin testa. So hybridization was made to combine these two characters, high oil seed content and thin testa. Testa means seed coat. So the photosynthesis is resistant to watermelon mosaic virus and chicken yellow mosaic virus. Arcamonic multiple is resistant. And the seedless watermelon, very important. The seedless watermelon was first developed in Japan by the scientist Ihara. In India, the first seedless watermelon, Pusa Bedana, was developed by scientist Seshadri. So this, how we develop the seedless watermelon? Seedless watermelon is triploid. Because of the triploid, it is sterile. So how we get a triploid? By crossing a tetraploid and diploid. So the Pusa Bedana was developed by crossing a tetra 2, that is a tetraploid line, 4x line from USA, and Pusa Rasal, a 2x from India. So the resultant is a triploid. And there is another triploid seedless variety was developed by IAHR, that is Arca Madhura. But the problem with the triploids is the germination is not easy in triploids. We cannot sow them directly in the field. First, we have to sow them in the plug trays in the polyhouse, and after germination only we have to transplant them to the main field. And the seed set requires pollination stimulation. Since the plants are triploid, they are sterile. So how the pollination will happen? So that in case of when you are growing the triploid seedless watermelon, you have to grow 10% either diploid or tetraploid parents. They produce the pollen. This pollen will stimulate when reach the stigma of a triploid flower. It stimulates the fruit development. The stimulation is needed for the fruit development in case of a triploid watermelon. So we have to plant along with the triploid plants 10% of the diploid or tetraploid parents. So how do we identify? Because when you plant the 10% of diploid or tetraploid parents in the field, these tetraploid and diploid plants also produce fruits. So how do you identify which is a triploid fruit and which is a triploid seedless fruit, or which is a normal diploid or tetraploid fruit? So for that one, there is a fruit size differentiation should be there. So based on the fruit size, we have to identify which is a triploid fruit and which is a diploid or tetraploid fruit. Durgapur Kesar is a variety with yellow flesh. The yellow color is due to carotene, whereas the red color in the watermelon fruits is due to lycopene and anthocyanins. And the yellow color is due to carotene. Here also, like muskmelon, cool night and warm days are required for the accumulation of sugars in the fruit. So pumpkin and squashes, this is another important group of cucurbits. They are originated in America. Watermelon, muskmelon are originated in Africa. Pumpkin and squashes were originated in America. Cucurbita pepo is summer squash. Cucurbita moschata is a pumpkin, and the orange colored one, orange color is due to beta carotene. And Cucurbita maxima is a winter squash. And Yerusari is a edible product prepared from the pumpkin. And in case of pumpkin, the leaves and flowers are also edible. The flowers, mostly the pumpkin flowers, are eaten by the people in South India. Maybe in East India also people they eat the pumpkin flowers. Like okra and potato, pumpkin also amphidiploid or yellow tetraploid. It was developed by hybridization between two species followed by the doubling of the chromosomes. In summer squash is an ornamental cucurbit. It is a bushy nature and it is also known as ornamental cucurbit. It is self-incompatible cucurbit. Self-incompatibility is present in the summer squash. So if we see the summer squash, Cucurbita pepo and the Cucurbita mixta, they are grown for the immature fruits. And the summer squash fruits are very perishable. We cannot store them more than 2 weeks. In case of winter squash and pumpkin, we harvest them at mature stage. They can be stored well up to 2 to 3 months. Summer squash, we harvest immature fruits. Whereas in winter squash and pumpkin, we harvest mature fruits. Summer squash cannot store well, and winter squash and pumpkin store well because we are harvesting mature fruits. And peduncle, there is a botanical difference. Peduncle is hard in all except Cucurbita maxima. The Cucurbita maxima is having the soft peduncle, and remaining all are having the hard peduncle. And pumpkin cannot tolerate frost, and bitterness is gone by a single dominant gene. So this botanical difference and the harvesting difference are very important. So here also male sterility is reported but not commercially utilized, and the male sterility is characterized by the abortion of pollen or male flowers before anthesis. Before anthesis means opening of the flower. Before opening of the flower, the pollen abort. So the male sterility operates. And powdery mildew fruit fly resistance is governed by a single dominant gene. Sometimes bridge cross, you might have heard what is the bridge cross. Bridge cross means when two species are not having cross compatibility. Two species are not having cross compatibility, but we have to hybridize them because of the importance of the transfer of some important characters. In such case, what we do, we take an intermediate species which is crossable with both the species. So that is called bridge species. So in case of Cucurbita moschata was used as a bridge species to transfer powdery mildew and CMV resistance to Cucurbita pepo. So Cucurbita pepo and the Cucurbita martinezii are not cross compatible, but we have to transfer the resistance from Cucurbita martinezii to Cucurbita pepo. How do we cross? Both can be crossed with Cucurbita moschata. So we cross the Cucurbita martinezii with Cucurbita moschata first, and the resultant F1 you cross with the Cucurbita pepo. Here the Cucurbita moschata is the bridge species. So this is the bridge cross. Likewise, Cucurbita windeliana can also be used as bridge species because it is highly compatible with Cucurbita moschata. So Posa Alankar is the F1 hybrid of summer squash EC207050 into selection 1 PI18. This cross was also asked earlier in exams. Posa Pasan is a summer squash variety, and Arka Suryamukhi Cucurbita maxima winter squash type. It is resistant to fruit fly. Arka Chandan rich in beta carotene. Some other varieties, Posa biswas and Posa vicus. Buffalo gourd. This is Cucurbita foetissima. It is xerophytic. Xerophytic means it is adapted to desert conditions, I mean drought-prone conditions. It can grow in with limited water conditions. The xerophytes. So the xerophytic species is Cucurbita foetissima. So Momordica types. Momordica bitter gourd. There are three types of Momordica: bitter gourd, sweet gourd, and spine gourd. Bitter gourd is Momordica charantia, sweet gourd is Momordica cochinchiniensis, and spine gourd is Momordica dioica. So the bitterness is due to the presence of alkaloids, momordisin, and sweet gourd, Momordica cochinchiniensis, commonly known as casca, is grown in Assam and other northeastern states, whereas the spine gourd is known as catrol, is grown in east and southern India. Momordica cymbalida is a triploid species. Interspecific crosses are not successful. Momordica bitter gourd is not possible with sweet gourd and spine gourd. Bitterness is known by a single dominant gene, and here in Momordica bitter gourd also gynoecious lines were developed. BBT G1, G263B, and G3G1. And short days or low temperature increases female flowers in bitter gourd. This is very important. Short days and low temperature increase the female flowers so that the number of fruits will be more. So more yield will be obtained when the crop is grown under short day plus low temperature condition. And Panchkarela 1 is highly resistant to red pumpkin beetle. Posa Aushadi is the newly released variety. So Aushadi bitter gourd. And this spine gourd and sweet gourd are dioecious. Momordica is monoecious or andromonoecious. But this spine gourd and sweet gourd are dioecious. Male and female plants are different, and the spine gourd and sweet gourd produce tubers also, and the tubers are edible. So the tuber bearing cucurbites are spine gourd and sweet gourd, and they are vegetatively propagated by tubers. And here also to induce fruit set, we need 10% male plants in the field. So loofah gourds, ridge gourd and sponge gourd. So ridge gourd and sponge gourd belongs to the genus Loofah, and they contain a gelatinous compound called lufin, and they are originated in Mexico and Central America. The sponge gourd, the sponge inside the fruit can be used for the baking purpose, and it is used in the preparation of scrubber, sponge, doormats, commonly known as loofah. So these are the genus name comes from this loofah. So all loofah species are monoecious except Loofah echinata, which is dioecious. Please remember the dioecious species. And where there is an exception from the general rule, just remember it. All loofah species are monoecious except Loofah echinata dioecious. Ridge gourd is monoecious, and one variety from Bihar, that is Sakutia, that is hermaphrodite. In ridge gourd also some gynoecious strains are developed, but not yet commercially exploited for the development of hybrids. And all loofah species are cross-compatible. Here also bitterness in the dominant gene. Male flowers in loofah appear in clusters, not solitary. Female flowers appear in solitary mode, and whereas the male flowers appear in clusters. Here, the important thing is the anthesis in the ridge gourd in evening. That means the flowers of the ridge gourd open in the evening and they are pale yellow color flowers. Whereas the flowers of the sponge gourd open in the morning and they have the bright yellow flower. It's very important, the crops which have anthesis in the evening. The Pusa Nutan is a new variety of ridge gourd and Pusa Sneha, heat tolerant sponge gourd variety. So this Pusa Chikni is previously they used to ask Pusa Chikni is the variety of sponge gourd. Now the new variety is Pusa Sneha and the new variety of ridge gourd is Pusa Nutan. And bottle gourd, it is also originated in Africa along with the melons. And in all cucurbits, the bitterness is due to the single dominant gene. And the red pumpkin beetle resistance is down by a single dominant gene. And yeah, in bottle gourd, there are two fruit shapes in bottle gourd. One is long, like bottle, another one is round. The long fruit shape is dominant over the round one. And the metagenia exists in bottle gourd, that means the transfer of bitterness through pollen grains. And in India, first time hybrids were developed by public sector in bottle gourd. They are Pusa Meghdut and Pusa Manjari in 1971 by IRI. Among all the vegetables, first time hybrids were developed in bottle gourd. They are Pusa Meghdut and Pusa Manjari. And there is a bottle gourd cultivar Renshi from Taiwan. It is used as a rootstock for watermelon against future. This I will talk about in the upcoming slides. I will talk about this one. And the important varieties, the newly released important varieties are Pusa Samruddhi and Pusa Santushti. There are two products made from the bottle gourd, Hoffa and Tutti Frutti. Bottle gourd is having white color flowers, anthesis in the evening. Ridge gourd anthesis in the evening, and bottle gourd anthesis in the evening. And short days and humid climate promote female flowers. In bitter gourd also, short day and low temperature promotes the female flowers. So pointed gourd and snake gourd. Snake gourd originated in India, and Trichojanthus lobata or Merna are known as the progenitors of the cultivated Trichojanthus anguina. And the snake gourd also anthesis in the evening. And there is an important variety PKM1, it is an induced mutant of snake gourd. And pointed gourd, it is a Trichojanthus dioica. Snake gourd is a monoecious one, but this pointed gourd is a dioecious one. Male and female plants are separate, and this pointed gourd is propagated through vegetative means, the vine cuttings, and this is a protein-rich cucurbit. Pointed gourd is protein-rich cucurbit. It is having highly 2% protein. 2% is less when compared to the peas and other protein-rich crops. But in cucurbits, among the cucurbits, it is having high protein content, that is just 2%. It is propagated by vine cuttings, 2,000 to 2,500 cuttings per hectare, not 25,000, 2,500 cuttings per hectare. So the cuttings remain dormant in winter and the sprouts when the summer comes. But to induce fruit set, pollination is needed. So we have to plant 10% male plants in the field. Swarna Rekha and Swarna Alaukic are the important varieties of pointed gourd. So ash gourd, Beninicasa, monotypic genus. Monotypic genus means the genus Beninicasa is having only one species, that is Beninicasa hispida. There are no other species. That type of genus is known as monotypic genus. And you all know the fruit surface of the ash gourd fruit is having white color wax. So it is also called wax gourd. Among all the cucurbits, ash gourd is having the long shelf life. And one popular sweet from ash gourd is prepared in North India, that is called petha, and sensitive to photoperiod. Like bitter gourd, in ash gourd also short day plus low temperatures promote female flowers. And Pusa urmi and Pusa shreyali are the new varieties of ash gourd. Pusa urmi and Pusa shreyali. The ivy gourd originated in India is a dioecious plant. Vegetative parthenocarpy exists, so there is no need of planting of 10% male plants. Here in case of pointed gourd, we need to plant 10% male plants because for fruit set pollination is needed. But due to vegetative parthenocarpy in ivy gourd, there is no need of planting the 10% of male plants. And chocho, it is originated in Mexico. This is the most commonly asked question. What is the origin of chocho? That is Mexico. One of the most common questions. So chocho is monoecious and it is a single seeded cucurbit. If you see all the cucurbits, the fruits have more number of seeds. But in case of chocho, only one seed is present and it exhibits vivipary. What is vivipary? Vivipary means seed germinates in the fruit itself. When the fruit ripens, seed germinates in the fruit itself. So it is propagated by the sprouted fruits. So some important points we have to you prepare a notes like this. Sensitive to photo period, bottle guard, bitter guard, ash guard. In case of beans, cowpea, like that. So short days and low temperature promote female flowers. Long days plus high temperature promote male flowers. And gynoecious lines are developed in cucumber and bitter gourd. Perennial plus dioecious, pointed gourd, ivy, sweet spine gourds. Perennial plus monoecious, chocho. And male sterile genes are identified in tomato, chili, coffee, muskmelon, watermelon, pumpkin. Wakra pumpkin and potato, they are the yellow tetraploids. Muskmelon tolerant to acidity, watermelon is tolerant, watermelon and ashgourd are tolerant to salinity. The edible portion, in cucumber and watermelon, the edible portion is placenta. In muskmelon and pumpkin, the edible portion is pericarp plus mesocarp. And rich sponge and ashgourd, the edible portion is endocarp. And white color flowers are produced in bottle gourd, snake gourd, point gourd, bitter gourd, cucumber, yellow and rich gourd, sponge gourd, orange color flowers in pumpkin, emphasis in the evening in bottle gourd, and snake gourd, and glistogamy, the self-pollination mechanism, glistogamy present in pea, and chasmogamy in tomato, hercogamy in lemon. Hercogamy means both male and female reproductive organs in different directions. If anthers are grown in downward directions, the stigma will grow in upward direction. So that is called hercogamy. And heterostyle is present in brinjal. Don't confuse heterostyle with hercogamy. Hercogamy means male and female reproductive organs in different directions. Heterostyle means there is different lengths of style. And dolichos bean, cluster bean, ring bean are short day plants. Runner bean, facials, coccineus is a long day plant. So you make a notes of notes like this. Write down all similar type of crops, all similar type of characters in one place, so that you can easily revise it before the exam. That will be useful for you. Just a few days before the exam, it will be useful for you. So in how many crops the powdery mildew resistance is governed by a single dominant gene, and what are the crops where the powdery mildew resistance is governed by single recessive gene. If you make a notes like this, it will be useful for you.